Good afternoon. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Stamping. It's a very rainy afternoon here in South Central Missouri. It is Wednesday, and I wanted to get this video shot before anything else comes up. Bob has only been off a little over a week, and he's already received notice that he could go back at any time. And so when he's out of the house doing his thing, I try to get my stuff done up ahead of time. So today we are on part 3 of the Petal Promenade Sweet Journal. And 2 weeks ago we did the cover. Last week we put together some of the pages. We did the flip page. And I've gone ahead and done a second one. And what I did was I just reversed the papers from putting the marble on the inside to putting the marble on the outside. And I will scatter these throughout the book. And these will offer different opportunities of embellishment when we get into next week. So I'm going to go ahead and slip those into place for now. We also did page 2, which looked like a solid page on the front, but when you flipped it over, because I wanted to be able to make use of these images on the reverse side, we just did a fold over and we put a little tuck spot there. So that was page 2. See, page 1 was our flip, page 2, and I thought we did a bonus one last week. Maybe not. So I'm probably going to make another one of these tuck spots later, but today we have a whole mess I want to get through. There's going to be, I think we've got 4 pages, and we're going to start with the simple one, is just a show and tell. And what I've done, remember our pages are 8 inches long by 6.5 inches wide, and then we've got our spine piece. So what I've done is, of the 3 colors from the cardstock pack, coordinating cardstock pack, I just cut a solid sheet 8 inches by 6.5 inches of the cardstock and put the spine on. And in a minute I'm going to show you a trick that I discovered for doing the spines. I am finding that using the tear and tape actually works better than the glue for doing these pages, because it helps give you that 1/4 inch guide for your spine. That does not want to go in there, so we'll flip it over there. So, 4, that was page, so that was a simple one. This one is going to be just as simple. What I've done is I've cut a single sheet, but I've allowed for a pocket. So what you'll do is you will cut. The hardest part of this particular one is deciding what part of this pattern you want to be visible on your background. So if you want more of if you don't want the splotch here in your background, then you're going to want to put it down to the bottom of your page. So let's start by cutting our page at the 6.5 inch wide. Lay that aside, and then if this is going to be my bottom, we doesn't really matter, I guess. We're going to measure it 11 inches. And that gives us another little trim piece we'll use later. And then what you want to do is use your scoring tool. Go to your 8 inch mark, because remember, our pages are 8 inches long, and score there. And what that's going to do is give you a 3 inch pocket when you fold it up. Find my bone folder. Give it a crease with your bone folder or the back of a knife, edge of the scissors, something to give you a good stiff crease. And then we're going to do our pocket. Now we don't want to put any across this, because this is going to be open for our pocket. So we're just going to put our tear and tape on either side. And what I've discovered is this is your tear and tape traditionally is 1/4 inch. And if you lay it to where the spool is to your left, when going against the edge of your paper, that's going to put that 1/4 inch adhesive right at the edge of your paper. If you go this way, you're going to be putting the tape up in here more in your pocket, and this is going to be left unadhered. So we'll turn our page. Snip. And then we're going to burnish that into place good with our bone folder. And yeah, I see that I've smudged that one just a little bit. I'm going to trim it off because that little, where I cut it with the scissors, is going to drive me crazy. So mine's going to be just a hair shorter here. And I do mean a hair. It's about all we got left off of there. And then we just simply remove our tear and tape paper and fold it back into place. And that's why you want to burnish that first, because when you fold that up, it lets your tape go exactly where you need it to go. Okay, I've also gone through and I cut a whole bunch of the spines. I didn't know how many I would get, but basically I used 4 sheets of that marbling, and I just cut as many strips off of it as I could, and I probably got 15 strips or better. And we're going to do the same thing with the tear and tape. We're going to go ahead and lay it down either side. Remember, if the roll's to your left, your tape is going to go right against your edge. Turn. Keep your adhesive roll to your left. And we'll burnish that into place. Trim off this little excess here. It has been raining since about 6 o'clock this morning. I have about, sometimes a little harder than others. I've got about 2 1/4 inches of rain in the gauge and going up. Okay, now you can't see it probably on the camera, but you'll be able to see it on your own. You'll be able to see where the edge of your tear and tape lies, and use that as your guide for that 1/4 inch mark to lay that down, and then tear the adhesive off the other side, or the stick paper off the other side, and just fold it over and give it a burnish. Now remember that stencil that we made last week? Two weeks ago for doing our holes, and lay it around here, and you can see where your marks are at here to give you that little dip there, and then your circles. And then what I did was I just went completely back over to this corner here and then caught that wedge. Scissors are all sticky where I've been working with them this morning. Catch my line, go to the edge, come back with the hole. Now if you want to make paper, keep your little hole punches, keep them in a little container, and you can add those to your homemade paper, and they make really pretty additions to your paper images. Okay, so that gives me oh, we got to do our holes. I did the mossy meadow on the other one. I think I'm going to do the peach on this one, the petal pink. So let's, and I put the craft mat down because this does tend to seep through the hole just a little bit, and I found that putting it around the edge of the hole, I had better control of how much glue I was putting down. And then I just pick one of these up, and when I squish it into place, it squishes out a little bit, and it'll cover more of that reinforcer without going everywhere. And then I'll do a little bit around this one. Like I said, if you've got the 1.5" Xyron sticker machine, that would be a great use for these, because then you wouldn't have the excess glue sticking to your fingers and then getting all over your other projects. I've been keeping an acetone rag here handy to wipe my fingers off with. So there we have a pocket that we're going to work with next week. Okay, so there's that one. Are you with me so far? These really are easy when you get started. Okay, for this one, this is going to be a full pocket page, and I'm going to move this one out of the way so you can see. What I've done is I've created a full pocket with a way to get in here, so you can put larger items in your journal, a larger tag, a small notepad, and since I'm going to have 2 of these in this album, I'll show you a couple of different things to use that pocket for. But what you're going to do is you're going to determine the orientation of your paper, and you're going to leave that the full 12-inch width. Then turn it 1/4 turn and go to your 8-inch mark to get your page. Then you're going to use your fold and you're going to go back to that 6.5-inch mark. Go to your 6-inch mark. This page comes out just a hair narrower, because remember, traditionally our pages are 6.5. So to fold this directly in half, our page would have to be 13 inches, and it's not 13 inches. So this page comes out to be just a little bit narrower than your other ones. Let me grab just one of them here. You can see, but we can make up for this space when we do our embellishments next week. So don't let the fact that this pocket comes out narrower be an issue. So then we're going to score and fold at the, what did I do? I think I did this one at the 6, so it was even. So do this one, score it at the 6. And you're going to want to go ahead and fold it in half. Give yourself a good crease with your bone folder. Now, next thing you have to do is decide what you want to be on your inside. See, I did this as my inside. So that's where I want to make my mark, because I want this to go, this one I'm going to go the other direction. So I'm going to open this up, and because this is going to be my front sheet, this is the one I'm going to make my marks on. And you're going to, lost my ruler, there it is. You're going to come down on your right hand, open it up to your right hand page, and you're going to come down 1 inch. Actually, find your middle first. So half a 6 is going to be 3 inches. Make a little tick mark. Remember, it doesn't matter because it's not going to show anyway. And then you're going to come down. I have to try and do this without getting my head in the camera. You're going to come down to the 1 inch mark. And where you made that, where that 1 inch came in at, you're going to put your end of your ruler on your fold line. And kind of caddy your ruler up to that tick mark. And then you're going to do the same thing. Go to that tick mark into your corner. So that you can cut that out. Gives you a line to follow. And I'm doing this without my cheaters, and I probably shouldn't, but here we go. Okay. And I noticed that was just my line was just a hair off my mark over there. So then we're going to fold it over, and now you've got your open spot for your tuck. This one works the same way. We're going to want to seal this and this with our score tape. There it is. I don't have a lot of room on this table. You'd think I wouldn't lose anything. And even though this is going to be covered by the spine, you still want to make sure you put score tape on this side so you don't lose anything into your spine piece. And then I'm going to go ahead and burnish this one down. And then I'll come back with my score tape and go to a new roll. And I'm going to go right to that fold line. Burnish. Pull my paper. I'm not sure if this one was the Stampin' Up! Tape or not. I couldn't find my backup right away, so I went with one I knew where it was at. And then we'll fold that over, and see, that's why you burnish that ahead of time, because it lets you get a good smooth fold over into your adhesive. Okay, then we do the same thing with our Now keep in mind, it doesn't matter what papers you use where. The only thing that's important is the measurements. And I woke up the other morning and I get some of the most craziest thoughts when I first wake up in the morning. They're aha moments, ideas, or crumb cookies I messed up. I think, and I'm going to go back and check the video, but I'm pretty sure in having trouble getting the video to upload last week, I forgot to go in and put measurements. So I will go back and put measurements for all of the papers, all of the pages on the new videos. And then we're just going to pull off our paper. Burnishing it also gives you, make sure it adheres to your paper good. And then I'm going to lay that right even with that edge. Fold that over. Had it here a minute ago. Did you see where I laid my template? Oh, come on. You know where I laid it, right? There it is. See, I knew you'd tell me. I have a cat very upset with me at the moment. I wouldn't let her in here to help. She's okay about not getting over here on this table until I open up the window. And with the rain, you'd think it'd be really cool, but I was about to roast in this corner, so I had to shut the window, open the window, and shut her out of the office. So she's sitting out in the dining room, clawing at the door because I won't let her in. I have 3 very spoiled cats. Tabby is our newest addition. She's been with us almost 2 years. And she thinks she has to be everywhere that I am. Okay, and there's your pocket card. You see, I did one with the floral on the outside, one with the floral on the inside. And it doesn't matter. It's all in how you do the embellishing that makes the page pop. And I think with this one, I think I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow stickers on this one. Oh, excuse me. 3, 4. I set and I punched a whole bunch of these, basically one 8.5 by 11 sheet of each of the 3 colors into hole reinforcers. So as I continue to work on this album and build it up, we by no means are probably going to finish this album per se. As you get the basics down of what you're doing, you're going to have your own things that you want to add. You may have other papers in your collection that you think would go really well with this suite that you want to go back and add, and that's fine. While we're talking about suites, remember that next month we are going to have the new suite coming out, and I can't prep things ahead of time to show you like I had hoped because I can't order it until you do. They're trying something new, and the pre-launch isn't a pre-launch for demonstrators this time around. So I will be ordering it and figuring it out right along with you. So that will be our May collection. And I've been getting sneak peeks from some of the girls online of the new suites and colors and stamp sets coming out in the new catalog, and oh my god, I don't know how I'm going to pick which one we do first. I really don't. Let me clean off my mat here really quick before I lay anything down. There is one that has lighthouses and ship's wheels that is going to be incredible for Father's Day cards. I had thought I was going to do the Magnolia Suite for June, but I think I'm going to do the lighthouses. So if you want to get a jump on or have a belated Father's Day, or you have a man in your life with a birthday coming up in the fall, we will get that one done right up ahead of time. So that will be our June one. And I can't tell you the name right now, but I will have names for you next week, because I can do my pre-order next week. And as soon as I can do my pre-order, I can show you pictures. Can't show you the inside the catalog, but I'll be able to show you pictures. So here we are, as of right now. We have, get my page sheets here out of the way. My fingers are still sticky. We have 3 card sheets, and I'm going to lay the notebook up here. We have 3 card sheets. We have 2 pocket pages. We have 2 bottom pocket pages. We have 2, oops, I'm going to need to make another one of those. We have, let's do this one. We have 2 of the flip pages. I get a hold of it. And then I only have 1 of these so far, but I'm going to go back and cut another one of these. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to cut it from, because I'm really having trouble cutting into this back page. But there is one over here we haven't touched yet, and it's this one. But if I cut into it, I'm going to lose some trims, and I'm not really sure I want this as a back, you know, as this whole solid page here yet. So, you know what? In the words of Kylie Bertucci, let's chop it. So that one we did. It was an 8.5. It was an 8 inches by 7 3/4. Let's get our paper trimmer open here. Get our score blade out of the way. And, you know, let's do this. I'm trying to figure out, because when I bend this back, I want this to be, I think I'm going to bend it forward this way this time. So let's do this one at 7 3/4. Oh, wait a minute. No, because I need it on that edge. I need it at that edge. So that's where you need to worry about your orientation. I hope I haven't messed it up. Okay, 7 3/4. And we have a 6.5 inch page. So if we move, flip it around, so we've got this over here. Flip this around to 6.5. And, oh, wait a minute. Let's do our 8 inch page first. Let's cut our 8 inch page first. Let's do this one. Let's do this way. Let's do 8 inches this way. And then get our trimmer piece out of the way. And then we're going to score this at the 6.5. And we're going to wind up putting our tuck on the reverse side from this one. This one, we folded our tuck this way. But if we do that, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That will work. Or do I want my tucks going this way? I need to go this way because the flowers are going that direction. See, here's that orientation thing again. The flowers are going that direction. So, all we need to do for this piece is do our spine piece down here really fast. You've seen the retired list by now, I'm sure. If you have not, please leave me a comment down below or contact me via the form on my blog and let me know, and I will get you a copy of the retired list as soon as possible, because things are going to go fast. And if you, I was surprised, I mean, I really was surprised that we are losing Lovely as a Tree. Now we do have Rooted in Nature, which is very similar, but we're all surprised. We really thought we would have Lovely as a Tree forever. I know it's been a stamp set as long as I've been a customer with Stampin' Up. So probably 18 years or better. So that caught some of us off guard. But we understand Rooted in Nature is very similar, and anybody who's going to have Lovely as a Tree probably has it right now. Aha, didn't lose it. And I'm basically just kind of lining that up, seeing where it didn't come out completely level, but I'm making it work. Keep in mind this is similar to a junk journal, so there is no exact right or wrong science on this. You're going to change things up. You're going to decide there's something you don't like. Maybe there's one of these pages that you don't like as well as another, and you just want to do simple pages. Maybe you don't want pockets, tuck spots. It's entirely up to you. It is your journal. Unless, of course, you're giving it away to somebody, and then, you know, you might want to think about what they might like. Well, they want a place to tuck notes and messages or photographs. Okay, so far we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 pages from 2 paper packs and the 1 cardstock. I may go back and make more of the solid cardstock colors. The other thing I contemplated doing was going in. Remember, there are other colors that go with this. Blushing Bride, Fresh Fig, Grapefruit Grove, Highland Heather, Sahara Sand, Tranquil Tide. These all will work with this. So I may go in and pull a color from each of those. So if you've got any of those colors in your stash, consider making a solid page. Or you can even use the cardstock to do some of your other pocket emblems here. Just note that when you do, the cardstock is going to be heavier than the paper. So you're going to have some differences there. So there's where we're at for now. We have our pages. Next Saturday, we will do the final 4 part in this, and we will be doing our embellishments. We'll be adding things to the pages. We'll be adding tuck spots, tuck corners. We'll be making tags using these 3 colors of cardstock, so you'll want to have those on hand. Tags are really simple. In fact, let me show you how to do the tag template really fast so you can have those cut in advance if you would like. Let's get the paper trimmer up here. These, if you've not done tags before, these could not be simpler. You're going to cut them approximately, I'm going to say 3 inches. Let's go with that. Let's do a 3-inch tag by a 5.5-inch tag. Now, this is, again, not science. You can make them longer depending on your pockets, like that full-size pocket. If you want to do something that's a little longer so that it sticks out the top. See, this 5 is going to disappear into that pocket. So if you want to cut one that's longer, you're going to want to go your full, say, 7.5 to 8 inches on this one. And then all we're going to do, and I'll show you a trick to doing these. If I can find a scrap piece of cardstock, I guess this will work. What I do is I'm going to cut, let me just loll up a piece of this because this doesn't have to be measured. I cut a strip of cardstock, and I need to make sure I'm going the right direction here. Yeah. And I measure down. Let's do these at 3/4 of an inch. Let's see if I do this backwards. I'm going to cut from that mark up to that point. And that's going to give me a template for doing my corners. And if you don't want to draw on there and erase, you can always just hold it on there and cut. And then I go back and I cut just the tab off, just like that. Now if you want to do one of these and use it as your whole template, but you really don't need to, you just need a piece that's going to give you your angles. Now if you have a die or a punch that does tags, that's fine. Whatever you have to work with will work for this. And then let's put the petal pink on here. So there you have it for this week. You have your pages to finish. Determine how many of them you want. I highly recommend just sitting down, turn on the TV, get out your 1/4-inch paper punch and your 1/2-inch punch and your strip of cardstock and cut out a whole bunch of the page reinforcers. If you don't use them for this, chances are you'll use them for another project. Now with the May kit, we're going to have different colors we're going to be working with, but guaranteed somewhere along the line we're at least going to be working with Berry Vanilla or Whisper White. Black is another good one to cut from. And there's our tag. So have your tags cut, determining where you want them. At least have a few of them to start with. Your pocket pages, solid cardstock pages, and we'll be ready to embellish this next week and finish up our Petal Promenade Sweet Sweet Journal. If you're looking forward to seeing more of these tutorials, please give me a thumbs up so I know that this is something you enjoy seeing. Hit that subscribe button so you'll know when new videos come up, and that bell will give you notifications that every time a new video goes up, it'll show up on your YouTube that a new video is up and running, so you'll want to make sure you come back to that. I will try to make sure that I get this uploaded and get all the dimensions for all the pages listed below in this description box. I will also put them on the post with this video on with their coordinating things on the blog. So I'll get those done just as soon as I have internet back. With the storms and rains today, I've lost my internet, I've lost my satellite, so it's just been a good day to play. Thanks for joining me today. Creative blessings and have fun.